Here's what you should know about your local housing market in this week's market update. Inventory is still extremely low, and we are seeing a very slow trickle of new inventory coming on the market. Because of this, we are seeing some wild bidding wars. I'm not seeing the amount of offers as we would have seen this time last year. Some houses we are, but for the most part, the amount of offers we're getting on houses is significantly less than last year. Still multiple offers, but the prices that we are seeing are much, much higher over list price than we saw this time last year. Looking at last year's stats, we are seeing lower inventory right now than we saw this time last year, although surprisingly, the numbers aren't drastically different. What we did see last year is that the inventory numbers, while higher than this year, remained fairly low until sometime in May. So what does that mean for you as a home buyer or seller? Well, if you're selling, get going. I'm not expecting to see a huge flood of inventory come in the market. While that would be nice for everybody, however, I do expect, if we follow past year's trends, that we will see inventory increase in a couple of months. So you will have more competition. So my anticipation is, while I still expect the market to stay very much the same in terms of the supply and demand dynamic and home selling over list price, I do think as a seller that you will have an advantage by getting your house on the market in the next month or so, as opposed to waiting until later spring. Simply put, buyers and sellers typically get that itch to move around the same time as they see the sun start to come out and the weather start to warm up. However, the difference is, if a buyer gets that itch to move, next weekend they are out looking at houses. Most sellers, when they get that itch to move and finally take action on their plans, it often takes them quite a while to get their home prepared, whether that be making repairs, cleaning up, decluttering, things of that sort. So if you're looking to sell, let's start talking now. Let's get ahead of the competition. If you are looking to buy, that being said, while I do expect to see some more options as the spring progresses, I expect to see your competition with other buyers entering the market to increase as well. I do not foresee much alleviation in this supply shortage and the bidding wars that we're seeing. So from a buyer's standpoint, if you are looking to make a purchase, start looking now. Why? Well, yes, we expect to see some more inventory come on in later spring, hopefully, if we follow historical trends. But the inventory is still very, very low. So your home search very likely will take longer than you initially anticipated. So you want to start sooner rather than later to give yourself more time, because those new homes, we're seeing a slow trickle in terms of coming on the market. So that being said, let's look at the stats for this week and see how the market is actually shaping up. This past week, we're looking at stats for the following towns: Morristown, Chatham, Madison, Harding, Marsh Plains, Mendham, Chester, Bernardsville, Basking Ridge, and Randolph. So in these towns, we saw 53 homes come on the market this past week. The town with the most homes coming on the market was Morristown and Township, with 11 homes. That's a 175% increase over last year. The two towns we saw a decrease in number of homes coming on the market were Madison and Basking Ridge. And the good news is we did see at least one home come on the market in all of these towns. The lowest was Marsh Plains, with only one home coming on the market. But at least this week, we didn't have any towns with no homes coming on the market. Out of these towns, 39 of those homes were single-family homes. 14 of those were condos or townhouses. The average list price of these homes was $1,174,000. That's a 21% decrease over the average list price last week. And the town with the highest average list price this past week was Harding, at $2,225,000. Surprisingly, that is the only town with an average list price above $2 million this week. Total inventory: we currently have 188 homes actively on the market. That is an 11% increase over last week. The towns with the most inventory is Mendham, with 31 homes actively on the market, and then Basking Ridge with 27 homes actively on the market. Towns with the lowest inventory is Marsh Plains with only 6 homes, and then we have Madison and Harding with 8 and 9 homes actively on the market. The only town that saw a decrease in homes on the market was Basking Ridge this past week. The other ones remained steady or saw a slight increase. Homes sold this past week. We saw 21 homes sell in these towns this past week. That's a 75% increase over last week, which is a good sign. Two of these towns, that would be Harding and Mendham, had no homes sell this past week. And then the maximum we saw 5 sell in Morristown and Township. Most of these homes that did see sales that were relatively low, just a few, 1, 2, or 3 homes sell in these towns. Average list price of the homes sold, $984,000. Average sale price, $1,037,000. So on average in these towns, homes sold for 7.5% above list price. The town with the greatest amount above list price was Madison, where homes sold for 18.1% above list price. All of these towns had homes sell above list price except for Chester, which had homes sell for 0.2% below list price, so just shy of list price. Otherwise, all of them sold for above list price, some of them quite substantial amount above list price. Average days on market for the homes sold was 39 days on the market. Under contract, we saw 32 homes go under contract this past week. That is a 16% decrease from the prior week. Only one town did not have any homes go under contract. That was Madison. All the other ones saw fairly low, 1 or 2, although we did see higher numbers in Morristown, Chatham, and Mendham was 6, and Basking Ridge was 7 homes going under contract this past week. Average list price of the homes going under contract was $1,255,000, and that is a 7% increase over last week. And these homes had an average days on market of 24 days, which is a 55% increase over the prior week. However, it is a split down the middle. About half of these towns saw days on market increase, while the other half saw days on market decrease. So there's the stats this week. Once again, very low inventory, very high competition. We are not expecting to see this change anytime soon. So if your life situation is telling you there might be a good idea to make a move for various reasons, upsize, downsize, location, be closer to a certain family, be closer to a job, change in climate, give me a call. Let's figure out a strategy, because if you're waiting for the market to change, you're going to be waiting a very long time. It's a better idea to figure out a strategy on how to navigate in the current market. So thanks for checking in, and I'll catch you guys next week.